StreetText Mastermind, your favorite meeting of the week, of course. And well, I know when you host these little skin in the games every day, Kim Renshaw, it's hard to have your favorite, but we're gonna say number one, StreetText.
Well, it's pretty one for me too.
Awesome.
And I'll just bring all those people with me.
Bring them. Collaboration's key. Awesome. Awesome. All right, welcome everybody. We're gonna give it a few minutes. This is the time to kind of just hang out, chit chat a little bit, catch up. Really doesn't have to be anything. Tell us what's new, what's going on in your life.
So I picked up, I got an appointment because of the rain. Thank God for Seattle. Walked out my house the other day, and my garage, as you face my house, is to the left. And I walk out, and it looks like here they call it Snoqualmie Falls, the biggest waterfall around here. So I'm watching water literally pouring over the top of my rain gutters. I'm like, what the hell? So I ain't 16 and foolish like I used to be. So I got the ladder and I looked up. I reached up, didn't feel nothing, but where I'm at, got a lot of trees. It always seems like the neighbors are your favor for this. Had pine needles and leaves blocking my gutter. So when I reached in and pulled it out, you hear this big whoosh, and it like floods my yard over there. Because rain gutters from the outer side and the front of the garage area. So I was like, wow, this is a video. So I went and made a video, just a real quick safety tip about, hey guys, just got to tell you this story. And you say storytelling. I was saying I walked out my door, thought I had Snoqualmie Falls, and told them that I cleaned the rain gutters out right there. And so I sent it out, mass video, just made a bomb video, put it in my line desk and sent it. So yesterday I'm looking up and I'm getting these people going in. I had a couple valuation hits and went in there, and the guy that actually had came in there was a prior client that I had picked up. He turned around and goes, hey Leon, I got someone, I told him to give you a call. I seen your video, I meant to call you. It's just like a little jolt reminder to him. So now I have an appointment on Tuesday, to sit down. Photographer's already scheduled to go do a listing on a house for a little over $500,000. So just for a video, just for the hell of it. And we always say about reaching out, it ain't got to be quarterly, whatever. If you get something spur of the moment you can share that's a right now thing, you do it. So I got to say yay to the bomb, and thanks for the rain, I guess. But listing appointment next Tuesday.
Awesome. Yeah, I love that. In the moment, impromptu, relevant to today. Smart. Yeah, Seattle, of all places, that area, like a lot of rain. Good on you, Leon. I couldn't do it.
So Leon, did you just email that to your sphere, or did you post that with ad spend on Facebook, or throw it through StreetText here? And then how did you do that?
I put it through all my leads. And now the most hilarious thing is that was a lead from 2018 that I had actually sold their house. They moved to Arizona and I gave them a referral, but they're still in my database. So I turned around and just, like I said, I made the bomb video because I want to be able to kind of track opens, and loaded it in Lion Desk, and it just blasted out to however many folks I have in there. And
okay, so email blast to your CRM?
Yes.
Cool.
Love it. Welcome everybody to the Mastermind. This is the time where we just share. So unmute yourself and share wins or ask questions. This is perfect. Do it right now, or I'll start calling on you one by one, starting with whoever I see on video.
Hello, everyone.
Hey, Elmer.
This is Elmer. It's our first time here, guys. I've actually gone back and watched a lot of the recordings you guys have done, so I feel like I know everybody already. Because I know Leon, I know Kim, I know a lot of you guys already by just watching a lot of the videos, but this is my actual first time being here. So I got a quick win for you guys. I just signed up with StreetText here, I want to say this week, and I just started shooting follow-up emails. And it's not a listing or a buy, but it's a renter. It's a pretty high renter. And the thing that I believe is with renters, they'll become buyers eventually. So yeah, I'm talking to her already. I sent her a couple of places and she likes a few of them. So I got that one going for me. So, but yeah, it's a small win for me, but hey, we'll build up from that one.
Awesome, Elmer. Thanks for sharing, buddy.
Yes, sir.
Hey, I'm Travis Harris. I'm new as well. Good to see
Travis.
you. So, I'm from Houston, Texas.
Hey, I'm from Houston too, buddy.
What's up, Elmer? Good.
Hey, what's
We're
going
gonna have to
on?
hook up.
Hey, we're gonna have to connect after this, man.
No doubt, no doubt. Hey, so I started my trial period probably last Friday. Got about 38 different 38 to 39 different leads that have come in. And they have been sent over to my website where one lady has put her information in, and she's been looking at like some 1.2 million dollar properties, right? Just off the ad. So she actually texts back as well. So it's a matter of now just kind of nurturing that lead and seeing if we can't schedule that appointment, because I'm ready to rock and roll on that one for sure. But I guess I really just want to learn how to really nurture these leads and how to really follow up and how to turn these clients from leads to actual clients, So glad to be on the call.
Awesome, Travis. Stick with it. You're going to find some amazing strategies and conversations that come out of that. Which ad are you running right now?
Two. I'm running the buyer's ad, 4 or 5 bedrooms in Katy, Texas, and then I'm running the seller ad, 12 tips, about selling. So,
Perfect.
Yep.
Awesome. And those are both lead ads, which automatically capture the name, phone number, and email, which is great.
Yeah.
What you'll eventually look at too, it's the home value style ad where you get that custom domain and it captures it differently.
Correct.
But what I will tell you, one of the best things you could do from the beginning with both of those is throw yourself in there with a video.
Yep.
Yeah. And then the text message component as well. So you'll edit both of those, put in your email signature, throw in a video, and then look at it, read them both out loud to yourself, the automations that go out, and kind of ask yourself if that's your personality. Make a small change, and that will help big time.
Gotcha.
Conversation starter.
All right. Duly noted.
Yeah. Anybody have some advice for Travis?
Hey, Travis, talk to me about the systems you have in place right now in terms of your nurturing systems.
Well, right now we're starting with a CRM that I'm just kind of getting started with, which will kind of be the drip campaigns that we'll be running. But right now it's all kind of like manually trying to go in right now and trying to individually trying to create something that's personalized just for me. But they're coming in a little too fast to be doing all of that. We want to definitely set them up on automation for sure.
Yeah, I hear you. I think we all suffer with that problem when we first start out, not expecting the leads to be coming in as quickly as they do. I think the key component here is get your systems in place as soon as you can.
Yeah.
Get those action plans, get those drips, get those videos all set up, so it becomes a little more automated instead of having to do everything manually as it comes in.
Correct. Yeah, I'm learning that. So I take that into consideration for sure. Thank you for that.
Jeff, what do you do?
Well, everything flows into my CRM. It automatically, through email parsing, comes in from StreetText leads, goes into my CRM, where it goes into, depending on what kind of ad it is, goes into a drip system. Involves a combination of emails with videos, texts, a phone call, depending on the situation. So everything goes through automation immediately. But it took a long time, just for all you newbies out there. It took a while to get this thing set up the way that I wanted it set up and get it customized and get it personalized. So it felt a lot more like me instead of just something that was a canned script. But it's a long-term nurture. There's, I think, 28 touches in the first action plan.
Marcus?
Yes.
I'll add 2 things on this for CRM. Number one, you need to make sure it's one that you own, that your broker does not own. Because if your broker owns it, you go elsewhere, all that data belongs to them. Make sure your CRM is yours and yours alone. Number 2, make sure your CRM can do video. If it can't do video, you do not need it as a CRM. That may mean bomb that you have to do for $29 a month, but it needs to be able to incorporate video into the stuff that you're sending out.
Well, since we're talking about CRMs and all that stuff, since I'm a newbie, is there a CRM you guys recommend that works very well with StreetText that you guys? I know it's a question that I've seen on past videos and when I've been watching them, but is there one that you guys specifically think that, hey, this one really works with it, or I guess I'm
the canned answer, Elmer, is it's going to be the one that you use. I mean, I know a lot of, I personally use Follow Up Boss, as do some others in here. I'm very happy with it. I know a lot use KV Core. I mean, again, you just have to find one that you're comfortable with and that you're going to use.
Elmer, do some free demos. So just Google real estate CRM, go through all the advertisements and whatever. You'll see all the popular ones like KV Core and Sync, and do a few, like I would say 3 to 5 of the free demos. Let them show you and explain to you what it is they do based on your individual business style and needs. Then pick the one that's best for you. And like Mr. Sorry, I forgot his name. He just said it. Like he said, it's the one that you're going to use. It's the one. I want to take that a step further. Please, it's the one you're going to master. Like, don't just use it. Don't just fiddle around with the basics and the easy stuff. I'm talking about truly get in there. Take, like for KV Core example, they have courses. If you have KV Core and you have not completed the courses, you're shooting yourself in the foot. And that's just across the board for all of them. So yes, it's the one you're going to use, but more importantly, it's the one you're going to master how to use it most effectively.
Hey, speaking of courses, Gabrielle, I think we have a course coming out tomorrow. Can we really just shortly speak on that and what that's all about?
Yes. Tomorrow we are officially launching the Go University course for Street Texters. And it's going to dive in deep to about 20 topics that I believe you guys should all be a master of. It's anything from profitability and systems and prospecting and scripts, 20 topics that are really important. You know, tomorrow I'm going to go into 25 points that I think everybody should hear. And they revolve around, if you don't mind, can I just go over something quick?
You sure can.
So when people are in my coaching program, I have this thing called the coaching journey, right? Because I feel like signing up for coaching is like a long-term kind of like university. That's why I call it Go University. But so the first year in coaching, you know, I go over a few of the basics, which you guys probably, most of you here, already consider. Accountability, lead sources, time blocking, goals, vision planning, sphere of influence growing, CRM installed and utilized, learning scripts, handling objections, hour of power established, the doing, and done system, right? To keep you moving in your business, and the habits formed on updating your numbers and keeping track of your numbers. If you don't think tracking your numbers is important, you really, really, really need coaching. Knowing your numbers will make your life so much easier, okay, when it comes to generating business. And then, of course, social proof gathered. But that's the first year, okay? If you guys are in your second year, 5th year, 10th year, I think the sophomore year of coaching is a little bit more relevant, which is when your income starts to grow, right? Run your business like a business. Expense management, lead sources are like a habit, habitually engaging with all of your lead sources. Your sphere of influence is growing already. You know, I talk to people that say, oh, I have about 100 people on my database. Like, no, you need to have like 10,000 people in your database. Lead management, hiring an assistant, which is probably one of the most important things. One of the things I get a lot of pushback on is assistant, like hiring help, building the support team before you have all the activity happening, right? And then adjusting business for growth. You want to, growing too fast is a problem. It is a problem. And you need to be ready for it. And then, of course, by your second year in coaching, like 1 appointment a day needs to be the standard. That's what you're doing. If you're a professional in any industry and you're not having appointments every day, there's something we need to talk about, period. End of story. So I'm going to go into 25 things that will cover, the 20 topics that I teach. The 25 things are collective information from coaching people I've been training and coaching since 2004. I've coached thousands of people. I coach for Mike Ferry. I coach for Tom Ferry. I've coached independently now. And these are the top 25 trending, just recurring issues with every single professional. I've coached people in, my background is mostly real estate and insurance. And that's where a lot of my clients are. I mean, I've coached people with the retail business. I have coached people with the dog walking business. Like, because here's my motto, I guess. It's, you have to master the principles of success. And once you do that, you can literally take your business wherever you want. So that's what we're going to do. Thanks, Janet. We're going to go over that, launch the course. And I hope that you guys can show up so that even on this one recording tomorrow, if you sit and listen through the 25 points I want to go over, I promise you're going to walk away, have something you can apply immediately. If anything, if that's it, like if that's all you did, you'll have some value.
That's awesome. Gabrielle, thank you so much. 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time tomorrow. You're not going to want to miss it. Gabrielle's got so much value to offer, and so much of it is just complimentary. And join his Facebook group, see what it's all about, but get to know him tomorrow, 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. It will be recorded as well for you guys. Thanks, Gabrielle. I appreciate that, buddy. I'll be there hosting with you. Awesome. All right, keep the conversation running. Anyone have any conversation or any questions for Gabrielle directly? This is a perfect time, and or we can continue the conversation around CRMs. It could be around anything, you guys. I know there's so many.
I got a question to ask.
You bet.
How many of you in your markets right now are seeing Open Door coming in and paying insanely over market prices for houses?
It's been that way for a while now.
Yeah. I think they're following the same road that Zillow did. They're trying to buy the market, and I think they're going to end up the same way, and it's going to bankrupt them. I lost one today. They were paying 10% over fair market value for the house.
They have a tiny percentage of the business out there. I think if you just focus on your own database and building your own business, they're not even going to touch you.
I agree. I'm just telling you that I've seen them coming in and doing this quite a bit in our market. Just curious if it's a nationwide trend right now.
It is pretty much in select cities with them. But one of the things I did, and I think I posted one in an insider group, was to turn around and I made something up about instant offers, because I had one of my clients took one, and actually to say it, I was so pissed. She gave up 23 grand. She didn't have to. And but the thing is, she had checked. She's one of the things where, you know, you give the best advice you can. You hope they follow your advice. But she'd already checked out on being here. She just wanted to leave. She got divorced. She already had her job in Maryland. She was just gone. And so I put together this thing on instant offers, because what I was showing is some of these guys come in, they got that surcharge they put on there. They do their home inspection and they go, okay, your house is built in 2004. The furnace is the original. Your water heater's original. These things usually need to be replaced. So we want $4,500 for the furnace. We want $1,000 for the water heater. By the time they were done, they beat her up for about 23 grand. And she took it. And I was like, you know, this market, you could wait 2 weeks. She didn't care about the money. So I put together something that showed what instant buyers and iBuyers do to give people an idea. Because if nothing else, I'd rather have them scared straight to get them off that path than to accept it and beat down. Because there's no way I wouldn't wait 2.5 weeks to make $23,000 more. I should have made more than that because we'd have overbid on the house. So that's the route I go to contend with the iBuyers.
Lynn, can I get you to share that? I'm working on the same thing right now, a script for video to use for blog and video. Would you be willing to share what you've done so far on that?
There's one, if you go Insider Group, which for Travis oh God, I forgot our new guy with Travis, the two from Houston, who I'm going to friend you guys anyway, because Leon's in Houston now as well. Also,
yeah, Elmer. I'm the Elmer.
It is in the Insider Group. You can go in there. I put it in there and think in a PDF in a Word format, but go in there, look at it, tweak it like you want to use it. As my boy Jeff says, you have my permission to rip off and duplicate.
What is it called? So when we look it up,
I think it says iBuyer on it.
iBuyer. Okay.
Leon, to your point though, I think your client was a good example of why these people are doing this, not just for the money, but for the simplicity of it. And so if you can come up with a solution that you can offer them no showings or something like that, you can partner with an investor or buy it yourself, where they're telling you they don't want to deal with getting their house ready for showings and deal with people coming in and out. I mean, it sounds like they just want something quick and easy. So I think if that is an option that you can offer, I think that's what they're looking for.
Actually,
In some
Marlon,
cases.
that's actually a good idea, because I did hear of an agent here in Houston doing that, where he was getting tired of getting beat up by Zillow and Open Door, and he partnered up with a big investor here, and that's something he offered. Hey, if you want quick cash close 10 days, we'll buy it for you. But obviously they would get at a discount rate, just like these other iBuyers are. And then that investor would turn around and sell it for that higher price, because he's willing to wait for that time and put in the time to get that.
Interesting, Elmer, that you say that. I just worked on a video complaining about that in my marketplace,
Really?
like criticizing that. You know, they have all these
Oh.
ads and these people are going around saying, we'll buy it in 10 days with 2% commission and it's quick and it's turnover, blah, 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 blah. And I'm going like, that ain't right. You know, it's
Yeah.
like,
See,
at the end of the day, they are buying it at a discount to resell it at a higher price. It does a
You've gotta work with
disservice
what
to the
your-
client.
The client is got a different priority though. If that's the case,
correct.
in certain cases, the money isn't what's driving them. It's they want a clean break and just move on. And you know, I think, you know, having those options, not that it's going to work for everyone, but having that as something that they can select that works right for their lifestyle is presenting them with what they're looking for. I mean, obviously these companies are doing this and getting business because it does work for enough people.
Yeah, but you know, Marla, if you really do a service to your client and your client wants out quickly out of a property, put it on the market below market value, or put it in a private exclusive. It flies, you know, without having to jeopardize the service that you provide the client, et cetera, et cetera. You know, that's what we do in our market. We either private exclusive it, or we basically tell the client, this is the comps, and why don't you come under and we'll sell it quickly. And you know, some of these things we sell in 10 days.
I agree with
Mark-
you. I think that's
Mark-
normally going to be the solution, but I think, you know, just having that option to talk to them about, you know, just so that you have that in your bag of tricks, I think is just another option.
Yeah, Marla, I completely agree with you. These are clients that are looking for convenience over net. That's their
Exactly.
priority.
Yeah.
They don't want people schlepping through their house. They don't want to go through the process. So they're willing to sacrifice net equity for the convenience. And yes, it's a minority of sellers, but they're out there. So Marla, again, you're spot on about try to circumvent what
Yes.
their objections are to taking the property to market, as opposed to taking a quick deal.
And that's why we always have to have investors that we work with who we get something back from them in return for helping them in on deals like that, because we can be the source that they don't have to deal with the iBuyer.
And Adrian, I agree with you, Adrian. I mean, yes, that is very frustrating, and I'm against that as well. But this agent that I'm telling you, he didn't advertise it like 100%. He just had it there in case that listing he was going to mention, hey, I'm thinking about selling it to an iBuyer for a faster return quicker. That's when he would utilize that investor to buy it. So it's not something that he was advertising 100% and doing it all the time, but it's just having that option there to win over that listing is why he had it there. So it's just another tool in our tool belt to win it over, right?
Agreed, Elmer. I totally agree with you. I was just putting it out there that we're seeing a significant increase in the market, and sometimes I think it's just an out. What you are saying, and Marla is saying is you need to have options for your client, and this could be another option.
Yeah.
Think of it a little bit differently. You know, we're in the business of selling houses, okay, but when people need to sell something, they might go ahead and hire a firm to sell it, or they might put it on eBay if it was a lamp or a table or something, or they might pick it up, put it in their car and take it to Goodwill. Or they might pay you $400 to come with the truck and take a whole bunch of stuff to Goodwill. And it's the same thing with houses. When we interview the client, we need to understand what their needs are and what their goals are. And if they just want to pay somebody to get rid of it, if we know how to approach that, then we can be the one to do it for them. Otherwise, they will go to these kind of iBuyers.
One of the things, though, like for me, and I call this a fail on my part. You sit there, and when you sit down with people, you know, we're supposed to identify their needs and what they did. I kind of got blindsided by the fact that out of the sky blue yonder, she takes the offer. And I mean, to back add a little more to this, I actually had explained to her how the process worked and said, let's wait a couple more weeks. She's okay, hang up the phone. And then 20 minutes later texts me saying, I'm going to take the offer, da, 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 da. It's like, what do you do? So one of the things I say, you know, we always sit here and try to give the best service to our clients. We represent them to do our fiduciary duty and all that there. So that's what made me write that thing in the first place, because I was like, wow, this will never happen to me again. I felt bad because, I mean, I don't have 23 grand just to throw away. I sold a house by her neighborhood the other day, 400,000. I listed 450 I got. So I'm looking at what this lady could have got for her home. And that really bugs the crap out of me. And I, you know, I tell people, I get it. This is a business and I do understand that. And we're not always going to, even winning, sometimes we lose. I sold the house, I got a check, but I still felt like I lost because I know I could have did so much better for her. And it didn't happen that way. And I know I did everything right. So it's a case where even doing everything right, it's like I felt something was wrong because somehow I just could not get that message across. And that's why, rather than beat myself up about it, I realized she checked out on the house. So what I want to say to everybody, through my experience, I learned, you know, we got to sit there and really pay attention to your client's needs. And, you know, if you explain it and they go anyway, at the end of the day, I'm gonna go to bed and go to sleep because I did everything right. But it just, to me, didn't have a happy ending I felt it should have.
You know, if I could chime in, I had a situation where I was selling my sister's house and she almost took a Zillow on the spot.
Oh,
And she told me she's taking it. That's it, done. So I told her, okay, I wasn't gonna fight her. I said, okay, Rose, we'll take it. Can I look at it? I said, can I look at it and make sure, you know, it's legit? So when I started looking at it, I started saying, hey, because they have a lot of loopholes. And so I said, hey, what's this statement here? I said, personally, I don't even know what it means, but it sounds like a loophole to me. And she reads it. I said, does it make any sense to you? I said, look, the CAR has forms. California Associated Realtors has forms that everybody uses. Why aren't they using CAR forms? I said, because it's full of loopholes. So that's the first thing I showed her. I said, loophole after loophole after loophole. That means they're trying to wiggle out the deal they just gave you. And I said, let's take a look and see what else they're trying to do. So when I stepped it through the whole thing, I was like, wow. Let's look at what you're gonna net. And then when she looked at what she was gonna net, I was like, do you really think it takes $18,000 to fix your HVAC, or could we do it for like $3,000? And then her husband was like, I got an HVAC guy. We can do that for $3,000. And then, you know, they started chiming in, beating up the offer. And then finally I won. I was like, oh, wow. It was my sister. I was like, oh, Rose, talk about a hard deal. But the reason why she wanted it is she had a son who has what is that thing? I forget the name of the condition. It's not Down syndrome, but it's where he's like annoyed. Autism. He has autism. So she had a really legitimate reason wanting to walk away. And I said, okay, I tell you what, the market is so hot. Just give me one weekend. We'll put them on the burner. We'll hold on. We know the offer's not the best. Just give me one weekend. And they went out, you know, for a weekend, and I sold it that weekend. I was like, oh Lord. And we did way better. We netted, I think it was like $20-something thousand more. So she was super happy I did that. And, you know, it was like 1 week more, and you know, we were able to do it. So, but the way I got him to do it is really to take a good look at the actual offer, and then started asking him, does that sound rational to you, or does that sound like a loophole? And when they started seeing all the loopholes, it scared them, because they were like, whoa, what is, I said, that terminology doesn't sound right. I said, let's see how the CAR would phrase that. And I showed them the CAR and how clean and, you know, really straight up. I go, why are the two not the same? I said, because this is a loophole. And when they got afraid of the deal, and sure enough, we walked away and we won. But yeah, it was my sister, so it can happen with anybody.
Well done, Joe. Thanks for sharing.
So guys, we've signed up with a company called iRealestate Pro. And I don't know how much you want to say about this, Marcus, but I think you guys are also working with iList and helping them get started. And iRealestate Pro just allows us to get ahead of the cash offers. We have an automated platform. They have an automated platform that allows us to sit. I'm in Southern California, allows us to submit to Open Door, OfferPad. And then they have some fix and flip investors. They have some other unique investors, like Knock, and then the Repair Concierge, Curbio, and I think maybe they're also I don't think they're hooked up with Revive, but Curbio. And then we also use the iList CRM, which we've been very happy with, and it works great getting our StreetText leads straight into it. It really functions well. So we've been really happy with that. So that's one of the first things we do is just, when we talk to a customer, look, here's our listing platform. One of the things we do is we can give you a cash offer if you want that convenience. We don't really ask them why they want that convenience or try to talk them out of it. We say, like, here are your numbers, and we can usually get them one or two offers within 24 to 48 hours. And then we will share with them that contract and where, potential outs for the investor are. But we have not seen them really exercise those outs, and we are seeing really fair market values. We've done a couple of those and several with the iList platform. So it's been a real good mix for us. So it's called iRealestate Pro. And it was really fairly inexpensive to join them. It's cheap enough that I don't remember how much it costs. So how about that? So yeah. So anyway, you might want to check that out.
Thanks, Roy.
That's awesome, Rory. So yeah, we are working with iList and building a couple of funnels which allow you to offer the same kind of bidding process to your clients if you need to. So that's something that's in the pipeline. It's actively being worked on by our engineering team with iList in partnership. So very excited about that when that rolls out in the near future.
We really like their auction platform. I had one that just closed out, and it's just very cool. It's very transparent. We take the listing and we do our full marketing video, all of our Facebook ads, a YouTube ad, a Google ad or two, lead ad on Google, and we put all that out on that on it that the auction's coming, and then it goes live. So it gets a zero. It's all buyer premium auctions. So it's pretty easy to advertise for the seller. You get 0 fee MLS, and you get full service marketing with it. So we really like their auction platform. It worked well.
Thanks, Rory. Anyone have any questions for Warrior on anything on this particular topic? Feel free to. All right. Michelle, you have a question. I know your hand's raised up.
Yeah, just had a quick question. I'm newer to StreetText, and so I signed up, and I'm usually an analytical, so this time I'm like, I'm just gonna go for it, sign up, let the drips come in and let the leads come in, and I got barraged with a ton of leads, which is great. The problem was my system wasn't set up to process all of them, so I got freaked out. I stopped everything. I put everything on pause as I started working on, like Linnea recommended, build up all your things, but it's taking me longer to do that. So my question is, should I just leave the system as it is and just turn the mech all on? Because now they're not getting anything from me. Like so it's been like 3 weeks or a month, and I feel like I've wasted the momentum, because it's like, do this and do this, and then you start kind of, like I said, I was an economist in my previous life. So I could literally force myself to take action instead of getting caught into analysis paralysis. So my question is, should I just turn it on and then, turn it on and then do the videos as I can, and that way they're getting something at least, right? Is that a strategy to do this? Okay.
Michelle, I would, as Leon and I like to refer to it, use R&D, which is rip off and duplicate. I would just copy, find some successful StreetText users, find out what systems, what automations, what videos they're using. That'll be your shortcut to getting your system set up. But I mean, you can knock that out in 2 to 3 days and be ready to go. So instead of trying to reinvent the wheel, just steal, borrow, if you will, what somebody else is doing in terms of their systems, their automations, their texts, their emails, and just go with it. And then you can always go back and tweak it and personalize it, on your own time. But I would get your system set up sooner rather than later, so you're not playing catch up all the time.
Right. And I appreciate that, Jeff, because I feel like I've lost the momentum. Like, you got to strike while the iron is hot. That was my other question. I hope it's okay for me to ask is, what would be a great way to restart that again, since some of the leads are older now? I feel like so what would be people's recommendations?
Hey, I noticed you're in the Pismo Beach area.
Yeah.
Hook up with Kim Renshaw.
Okay.
She's in San Luis Obispo in that area, and she will rock your world with what she does and what's possible out there. So she'd be the perfect person. Go get some coffee and hang out with her.
Okay. R&D, baby, R&D.
Yeah.
Can you repeat that? I'm with Kim, and Kim is awesome, and I'll meet with you too. She's a great motivator. I live in Pismo.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Perfect.
So for the old leads, Michelle, follow up, touch base, reach back out, go in and look at the notes. In the StreetText platform, go in the conversations and see if there's any response to anything that was going out. In a case like this, something is always better than nothing. To do nothing, that's the results you get back. So go in there and at least if you're running ads, get with whoever your coach is, whatever, see if you need to tweak something, and then block out the time to make the appointment to yourself to do the videos you need. You don't need to do all of them in one day. Rome wasn't built in a day, and neither is your business. So go ahead and go look and see what's pertinent to what you need to do. A lot of us use BombBomb, some use Dub, but just go ahead and get a couple videos set to get in there. And then like what I did, we had a 12 tips ad that came out. I sent that thing to all my past clients. So you can take materials to reach out and just, I do mostly sellers. So you can say, hey, I was thinking the other day, just wanted to send this to you. Just something to get your foot in the door, get it cracked open and get in there. But just, go ahead and follow up with the old leads and then go ahead and start running ads for the new ones and get your platform going. And then I tell people straight out, minimum links in your stuff going out of StreetText is better because you're not trying to get caught in spam prison. And it'll work. At that point, the results work because the older leads are the ones that are more ready. No one gets out of bed going, I'm selling my house today. So most of my gold I mine is the older stuff in there.
Great. That's great.
They don't know they're old leads, so just get back to them.
Change.
The collaboration on here is great. And I think the ability to communicate with other StreetText users and find out what they're doing and use what they're doing is awesome. To Marcus and the dev team, and I know we've talked about it before, it would be awesome if there was a way for StreetText users, experienced ones, to post their action plans where everybody can access them and take advantage of them. So just a thought, just kind of putting it out there. But I mean, I'd love to see what Leon's action plans are. I'd love to see what Wendy's action plan are. So, I mean, if that's anything that you guys can talk about, maybe being able to put out there, I'm happy to drop my action plans in there. My CRM follow-up boss actually has a library that's accessible to all follow-up boss users. So we can see their action plans, use them, tweak them, do whatever we want. If StreetText had that ability, I think it would be an awesome tool for everybody.
I love that idea, Jeff. I think that's a great idea. And being able to do that, it really fits, I think, our mindset too, which is the collaboration and sharing. And if we all work together, I think we're going to be a lot stronger and grow a lot faster. So that's a really cool idea.
So I got a quick question for you guys. So just to kind of piggyback on that, so let's say I'm 5 years old, right? Starting StreetText, and I know I got it. I want to take an action plan away from today. So I'm running a buyer's ad and I'm running a seller's ad. All right. I recognize that we want to have a video for each one of those particular buyers or sellers that will come in from StreetText, right? So if I shoot the buyer video, am I uploading that into the StreetText platform on the automatic email, that first one that will go out, or would that go into, let's say, because I'm not experienced with BombBomb. So if someone can maybe share what I might do. So as soon as I get off this call, I'll shoot the video for seller, I'll shoot the video for the buyer, but I want to make sure that it's in that first video that goes out to either the seller or the buyer.
All right, if I could chime in for you, because I'm a newbie too at StreetText, but I'm gonna tell you, get BombBomb. I was doing it all the way. BombBomb's like 30, 40 bucks or something. It's so easy to use that even I can use it. So, and it's really good. Just use it, because you can use it to any different CRM, and you'll make your video super quick, and it takes the whole overthinking out of it. You just point and shoot, and then it's gone, and you're like, oh wow, that was easy. So that'll get you going. BombBomb is like a winner. So that would be my advice to you, because I got videos on all of them, and it didn't happen right away because I didn't know what to do. And when I finally got BombBomb, I could do it all in one day, and I was like, oh man. So yeah, that would be my advice. Pay the money on BombBomb. BombBomb's great. So
yeah, I get it. So in BombBomb, so you shoot your video, but how are you when the lead comes in automatically, so that it's automatic?
Travis, you want to embed it in your automation.
Okay.
The first email that's going back out to them, you should have your video embedded in it.
I'm showing you right here that this is how you do it. You basically go to the ad that you want, click edit funnel, go to that first email that's going out. Yeah. Open it. Yeah. And I'm in Michelle's account right now. And what she would do, and what you would do. And by the way, Michelle, good job on having that email signature. That's one thing I see people miss. You want an email signature that goes out with every automation. That is your brand. You know, the more you can do there, the better. I love that you have a little picture there. Perfect. Awesome. Now, as far as a BombBomb video would be concerned, you're literally just going to, you want to get the Google Chrome extension of BombBomb. So you'll use Google Chrome as your browser. Okay. You'll go to the Chrome extension store, which is free, and just type BombBomb, and it'll become a button right here next to your URL browser. So if I click on BombBomb now, it's a part of my Google Chrome extension. Okay. And then I can shoot the video, and once that video is uploaded into this little area, I'm basically going to just grab the video that I want to put in there, and let's just say it was this one right here. I'll go copy for email, and then I'll do Command V or copy paste right in there, just like that.
Gotcha.
And then just don't forget to save, and that's how you do all the automations within your StreetText emails.
Gotcha. Perfect.
Another good on there for what Michelle's showing. She has one link. So it's like, pick the link where you're trying to drive them to. She's driving you to her site, and that's perfect. I've got one link. It drives them to my site. You're either going to sit there and search listings, search your value, whatever, but you're trying to stay out of spam gel. So a lot of times people sit here, don't overdress the things going out so much that people are going to miss the message you're trying to deliver. And so that's so cool. Like I said, Michelle's got her contact information. She's, where do you want a person to go? She's driving you to her website from that. They click that link, they're there. So, once again, keep them off Zillow, keep them off Trulia, keep them away from Realtor.com, take them to your site, and then the follow-up is the bomb.
Yeah, and just remember, automations, they get lost in folders, right? There's percentages of those that get lost in a number of things, promotions, updates, you name it. So
Marcus, here's a tool for everybody. There is a website, subjectline.com. It's free. You can test your subject lines against industry standards of what works and what's going to get the most open rate. And they will give you a score back on it as soon as you send it to them. Now, of course, you got to get on their email list to do it because they want to sell you other services, but it's a real good service. I had that recommended by somebody else who was pretty savvy.
Perfect. Yeah. Throw that in the little chat.
I'll put a link in there right now for everybody.
But I will add on that is you'll learn that if you can look at your StreetText emails and it'll show you opens and it'll actually show you a clicks, but you don't really know what that click is. And so what I always recommend is learn how to leverage the tracking mechanisms, let's just say, of BombBomb, whether that's in your Chrome extension, whether that's within BombBomb, so you can actually get more details on that tracking, because there's the open, of course, but then there's the play of the video, the amount of time they played that video, which is important. It's the actual links that they're clicking on. Let's just say you have a link both to your website and a link to your calendar. You want to know which one of those were clicked on, and so forth. And then the reply and the comments of that. I know, Jeff, your hand is raised, and I'll, yeah, you can add on to that. But that's where you really get good at. And then there's something that you'll learn, again, on the subject of scaling yourself and leveraging your time, which is called snippets. And snippets in itself save you a ton of time. It's really just the same video that you're posting your automations, but you save that within this folder of BombBomb called snippets. And so when you go to compose emails, you're literally just pressing that button. It includes that entire email with video, and then you just put in that person's email, maybe change a line or two. Jennifer Salter is really known for this, and you'll get this 90% plus video play rate. Of course, at the end of the day, just remember, all these automations are great, but your most important video that gets played is the one where you're addressing what they asked for personally. Automations are great, but it's the personal response to that person by name, let's just say their address and so forth, where you're talking about them and what you know about that person in that neighborhood, that's most important. And that should be always your number one priority outside of all these automations. Because great, automations are great, but they're not for them. Like, yeah, exactly what Campbell's doing here. You do something like that.
Learn that from you, Marcus, and others.
Yeah, that's an app called Make It Big, Big
View.
Big View or Bigger on Android. But yeah, all of this stuff is you learn within time. So, just embrace that you're not going to know it all in the beginning. You're just going to, you'll fail, but you'll fail forward. And you'll just learn through small little learnings that there's something that will just catch. And then, in this mastermind, you'll take it and you'll run with it. Just one thing today. And before you know it, you'll have 15, 20, 30, 40 new things that you've learned, and it's just changed the scope of your entire business.
And half the best things you'll learn will be by accident, because I guarantee you're gonna be in there screwing something up. Not that I never have, and you'll be like, "Oh wow, it did that." So you learn so much that it's just crazy ridiculous. And never forget YouTube is your friend. Go in there and look, because somebody at 3 a.m. made a video that's gonna help you come up with an idea or inspire you to do something else. Because you look at folks and go, God, if they did it, I can do it. And you just piggyback off it.
Hey Marcus, as long as you're in demonstration mode, and this is for Travis and anybody else. Travis, I know originally you'd indicated you're running two different ads, a buyer and a seller ad.
Correct.
When you're doing these videos, you're going to want to tag your StreetText ads, because you're going to want to do a different video for your buyers than you are for your sellers. Correct. So it's important to tag these ads so that you know which video is going out to which lead, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, it does. Thank you.
I also wanted to add a quick BombBomb tip, is to make sure you remember the sandwich. We were talking about it at the ad class yesterday, is that when you put your BombBomb video in, you want to make sure you have text above the video and text below the video, because if you don't, the video will collapse into those three little buttons you see in the bottom of an email, and people won't realize you have a video. Or if there's no text above it, it'll pull up into the subject line. So always think of the sandwich when you're inserting your video.
I was going to ask you,
does an address line to somebody, hi, so-and-so, account as a line above it?
What's that? Say that again, Campbell?
Yeah, say it again.
If you have them addressed in the top of the email, which is what I typically do, hi, Bobby, then I insert my BombBomb below that. Is that what you're talking about, Brandon?
Yes. That'll suffice. I would probably do the hi, Bobby with maybe one line just to be safe in the future. And then the copy or the video, I should say, and then a little bit more. I always say, so there's a structure to it. There's not just a sandwich. It's also what you have to say, especially in that first introduction, should lead with empathy, right? And empathy in that moment is realizing this is what they thought they were going to get, and here's what they're actually going to get. Because that moment, they think this is an instant market value. They think this is an instant buyer's thing, or whatever it is. And here you are communicating something of value, even better value. So empathy followed by the Usually the value is what they're going to get, and then a question or two that would only enhance the value they're going to get.
Can you share some ideas on that opening line for seller ads?
I mean, I would say, I could only imagine you just clicked on this Facebook home value ad thinking it was instant market value, right? And then you can kind of go in from there, because that's that first opening. It's like, yeah, I thought this was instant. Now they're caught. Okay, well, what am I going to get? That would be I mean, there's a million ways. Just run with that. What I'm going to do for you is, right? And if you could even challenge them on that thought too. I mean, you could run with like, hey, if you wanted an instant market value, you could just Google your address right now. But I think what you'll find is that there are algorithms all over the place and out of date and not in tune with what really is happening. And then I could only imagine you could tell a quick story about someone. I mean, there's so many limitless things you could do. But just giving you an idea there. Lavina, you have a question there? So your hand is raised.
Okay, yes, I do. Every time I join this mastermind, I get way overwhelmed. That's first of all. Okay, I'm learning so many new things. I am new. Well, I started a few months ago, but I'm so overwhelmed. Just like the other lady said that, she shut it off, turn it on. I'm lost. I'm totally lost. I really want to get into this, and I'm just unable to implement it the way I think I should. And I've made a few attempts and it's not working out. And I started a new ad with the downsizing, and I'm not sure what to tell them. I've recorded bomb stuff, and I just don't know how to reach out to these people when I reach out, when they fill out the form.
Want to hear something funny, Lavina?
Uh-huh.
Sometimes we figured our best resources. Ask some of the people around you that don't do real estate. Hey, if you're in this situation, what would you think? Get what I call the public opinion. Because if you turn around and ask them, hey, we as realtors, we're so smart, we outsmart ourselves. So ask a couple of non-realtors, get their feelings about it, get their thoughts. That builds the patterns. You got an iPhone or a Droid, everybody's got a phone, put it in your notes so you have it. That way, no matter where you go, you got it. And then watch the replays. You can be driving down the road, listen to the replays. I have nowhere or nothing I can do till I get where I'm going. And I definitely can say I'm one of the guys that has been to damn near every StreetText since whenever. So I will watch the replays and I'll laugh. There's a couple of times I had to send Marcus something, said, hey, we're talking about this the other day. What was it? Because I'm trying to do this and I've forgotten. I'm trying to set something up because I couldn't write it down. But if you go back and watch the replays, you can sit there, take your little notes. Stuff does fly by so quick in the group, but everybody seems to forget that it's recorded. So go back, slow it down, play it back, do what you need. And then if you got a question, ask it in the group.
Lavina?
Now, this is Adrian. Also, may I suggest that I feel that sometimes it is good to put yourself in that position. So I went from 3,300 square feet to 1,100 square foot condo. And just the thought of how can I address this is like, okay, I think I need to call an organizer. I think I need to do this. Somebody put in the chat box. Think about the resources that you can provide the client when you call them. It's like, why are you downsizing? What are you planning to do? And this is how I can help you.
Yeah, one thing that I'll recommend is to realize and remember that we're not the hero on the journey, we're simply the Sherpa, right? And so kind of like Adrian is mentioning is, I think first diagnosing the reason why they clicked on this ad is by far the most important, because you're going to find a good mix of buyers and sellers who are looking to buy and buyers who need to sell first. You're going to find a good mix of everybody coming through this particular ad. So I like to categorize, and you kind of start with your tree. Okay, so what's their why, right? And what was their category that you can first apply them to? So my first question for them would be, in order for me to be able to help you best, I need to know, do you currently rent or do you own your own property? Well, I rent. Hey, no problem. I'd love to help you purchase your next home. Here's what we need to do next. Have you already met with a lender? No, you haven't. Okay, here's a list of lenders that I trust trust in our area, right? Things like that. You take them down the buyer's pathway, great. Set them on buyers lists, do all the normal stuff. Try to get a face-to-face appointment with them, of course, still. Are you free this Thursday? I'd love to meet you at a coffee shop. We can talk about your buying needs, whatever it might be, right? Take them down that pathway. I own a property. Hey, great. While many of my clients can absolutely support 2 mortgages, and you might be in that category, it's always best before we start your home search to know what you can afford and know what's best for you. So are you free this Thursday around 4? I'd love to come over and give you a free home valuation so we know what your current poker chips are worth. That way I can help you make an informed decision as to whether or not we need to sell your current property, or, you can maybe support both. But either way, let's move down this pathway. And then I'll double down again on what Adrian said as well. Come with some weaponry. Every single person that you talk to has an opportunity to be looking for something completely different. So have some tools in your arsenal, such as, for me personally, I always had a partnership with local storage companies in the different locations. So the first bunch of clients I would send, I was getting 10% off. And after I sent enough people, I was able to negotiate 25% off. So my first question to them, after it all was, what are you going to do with all your crap? You're coming from a 3,800 square foot home down to an 1,100 square foot, or 1,200, 1,800, whatever it is. What are you going to do with all your stuff? You've got 2 options. Either we find you a place with an outbuilding or some garage space that you can use up for the time being. If that's not in the cards, well, I do have an alternative for you where I can get you 25% off a local, whatever it is, for the first 6 months. Then you're going to have to negotiate your own rate beyond the first 6 months, because that's what I figured out for you. But have some options that are available that are helpful to that individual. But first, you need to know, do they own a property or not? Otherwise, you're guessing at a lot of stuff. So and pose your questions again as if it's not like, hey, I don't want to waste my time. You need to send me information because I don't want to waste my time going through whatever. That's absolutely the worst thing you can say. It's, I want to make sure I have all the relevant information so I'm not sending you down the wrong path. I want to make sure that whatever I'm providing you is valuable and helping you along the way, not sending you the wrong direction. So please, if you can let me know this, that, and the other thing, I'll be able to serve you better. That's essentially for me. But right from the get-go, do you rent or do you own? Follow the pathways from there.
Thank you.
Great.
I always look at what problems they're going to face when they downsize, or address problems first instead of like just selling. Because we always stress, like with Krista, who Mayshore, it's always like what kind of problems are they dealing with? So typically, I know when I downsized, it was a lot of stuff, but I really didn't want to just store it because I still had stuff. So do you approach an estate seller? So, learn some of those kinds of resources too, besides just storing things. Is it better for them to donate it and have a tax write-off? So look into some optional resources for them. So just think about like what types of problems are they going to face? When you have a specific client that you're dealing with, think about what kind of problems and provide solutions for them. So I love the first idea about talking to your friends, to the public, and just say, have you thought about downsizing, and what kind of issues do you think you might run into? And that might give you some problems that they would think of. And then your job would be to come up with solutions, because your opening catch, your hook in your email would be, are you thinking about downsizing but worried about what you're going to do with all your belongings, your antiques, whatever. And then that's your opportunity to come up with solutions that you can provide them. And that's where they're going to think of you as the expert that they're going to want to talk to.
Thank you, Rebecca. That was awesome. We got Joe, Adrian, and then Tracy.
Real quick, do we have a script? Because I'm running a home value ad, and I'm getting leads, and I got one texting me, and I was like, I just got froze up. He gave me a whole list of updates that he did, and I'm like $700,000 in updates. I didn't know what to say to the guy, because I was like, well, I don't know what it looks like, so I didn't want to put my foot in it. So I was saying, is there a script that I can follow that we know works well, and these kind of, because he likes texting as opposed to right? Calling. So I wanted to know if there's a texting script that I can look up. Is it on the is it in our Facebook mastermind thing, the how-tos, or where would I find something like that?
$3.99, I would say go online and find Mike Ferry, Tom Ferry, some of those guys. They got all these free scripts, Eisenhower coaching, all that, and download that. And then what you do, you know, the famous words, when you get in a brand new car, you look around for where everything is at before you hit the button and drive it. Go pick out what it is that works best for you. I was on Gabriel's thing this morning for the role-playing thing, and you know, it's really good that you go in there, look at it, run it through your mind, work some of the objections, and then even though you're texting back to the guy, you've got things to work off of.
Yeah. And then there's also the StreetText Insider Community group where you could go in the topic section. There's a little topic section and look at all the hashtags. There's a lot of great video examples there of follow-up. But yeah, I mean, I wouldn't overanalyze it too much in the beginning. Just kind of just go with the flow and your intuition and ask questions and be willing, you know, and ready to overcome objections. And whenever possible, say, you know, try to get that conversation on the phone and try to meet up. That would be the key.
When you say old things bring new money, last week, I think, Marcus, you had said something where you brought up Jennifer Salter about resending something with a different subject line and stuff like that. So just for grins, I'm making it a goal where I go in and I'm doing 5 to 10 a week. So and that's minimum. So when I go in and I got that quiet moment, it doesn't have to be 9 o'clock every day or 11 o'clock every day. If I got a quiet moment and I've got a gap between things, it's like, okay, let me go in here. I look to see activity or lack of activity, and I go back and I'm resending the things with a different subject line or a different approach just to see if I get the hit.
That's awesome. And stories sell. I would say with that, like, think of your experiences you've had recently with your clients and use that as a case study or a testimony inside of one of those videos that you send out, those emails that you send out, just to show people, you know, here's someone that we came together, we decided to list their home at this price, and, you know, a week later, this is what their house sold for. Like, this is the market you're in right now. It's not necessarily what the market value is, you know, and you could give that example. Zillow, Trulia, Realtor, Redfin would have put it out at this, and look what they actually got for it if they would have believed that was the price. So I think that's, you guys know so much because you're in that world, but most people aren't. So you always got to assume that they have no education on that whatsoever, and you're giving them this brand new experience on understanding that the true market value is completely different than what the property is assessed for, or what the property, you know, came in, because they have no idea. Just like I was using the example, I got my property assessment and it was this price, and then I had someone come on over that I trusted and do an actual analysis on it here and said, this is what you'd actually sell it for, which was a couple $100,000 more, and this is what you would actually sell it for if you did these upgrades and updates real quickly. And then you're like, whoa, there's those 3 different price points. I would have had no idea, but you already knew that, but you're assuming that they all know that. So you need to go into this idea of you know, removing all this great knowledge you have and going and assuming no one knows anything. And that's how I would start your communication with people. Awesome. Anyone want to, Adrian, unmute yourself there.
Yes. What I wanted to ask the group is, the success of any video, however short or long, lies in how much time the person listens to it and sees it. So I was just wondering if there is a way for those that have been with StreetText for a long time and have been successful with video to share their hooks, because I think that what keeps people interested in the topic is the initial hook, like you just mentioned, Marcus, a little while ago. So I don't know if for sellers or buyers, you know, if it's a home valuation or whatever, if there's a way for some of you experienced StreetTexters to share some of your hooks.
I don't have one. The Marcus Willard 101 course of stalking. I was sitting there, I go in and I look up Number one, I look up in their data to see what exactly it is that they have. And then when I call them, I'm already trying to format my conversation to what their needs are. So if they've already given me an idea what it is they're doing, that's the catch or hook, because I'm trying to deliver what they want instead of what they don't want, since their attention span is so short. You got 10 or 15 seconds, make it work.
Yeah, Leon, I'll add to that real quick. It's even less than that. It's like 2 seconds, but let alone it's the first thing they see, which is the what's the GIF in the video. So whether it's a still shot or that GIF, it has to be eye-catching and draw their attention to want to play. So that first thing, especially on the personal reply, would be their actual home, their home, or their name. And Logan used to always talk about this. Is like no one loves anything more than just to see their name, but that's gonna draw them. Like, why is my name in here? Click.
So
right.
I've had some recent increases in my BombBomb video watches. One was I changed sort of like my background, so I'm doing more YouTube stuff now. But I have a red backlight on my wall, and then that increased it a little bit. But what I really noticed, and I probably got this from Linnea, and it's just hey, like this will catch people's attention, just waving and in it. I'd say it's increased I'd say out of 5 videos, 3 of them get watched now. Whereas
that's a great idea, Jeff.
Yeah, it wasn't my idea. Linnea said it in the I think the lab coats thing, and she's just like, hey, because this is me, this is my energy. But like, even if you just like, hey, we just smile, wave, people are like, okay, well, what's this guy gonna say? Like, I've noticed an increase in my watch times and response rates. Like I've had a few good conversations since I've changed just that one little thing. Like it went up when I changed my background and made it more appealing, and then I changed it so that I was waving, and that increased it even more, right? So it's about making those little testing out to see which one will work better, or what you can add. Say I haven't done it yet, but I've got a little board that I can write home evaluation for whatever, and then just hey, I haven't started it yet, but that's the next thing I'm going to try.
Thank you, Jeff. That's cool.
Isn't that cool? Surprise, surprise. It's body language, right? Body language. Like smile, smiling eyes, smiling everything. Like get charged up, get ready, get excited. That energy is going to carry in to whether or not they engage with you and have a conversation. Whether you have to play like the Eye of the Tiger, soundtrack or whatever it is you're gonna do. Get pumped up, right? This is what.
Always smiling.
That's right, Wendy. That's right. That's
even when they can't see you, you're on the phone. If you smile, people can hear it.
That's right.
As far as a hook goes, one of the best hooks lately has been scared to sell your home because you're afraid you'll be homeless. I mean, who isn't scared of that, right? Everybody asking about their home value is scared about that. So that's the best hook I've seen so far, and that's how I start my video. And then I say, hi, I'm Wendy with wherever the hell I'm from. I don't even have anymore. Anyway, but yeah, start your video out like that too, because you want them to continue to watch your video. So you put it in the subject line, you put it in the first line above the email video, and then book your appointment thing on the bottom. So anyway, hi guys, I miss you so much.
Thank you, Wendy. That was awesome.
Linnea has flipped my freaking world upside down. So I've been really busy.
It's awesome. I love this community. So awesome. You guys are amazing. I tried to upload a video yesterday of a video Steve, John, and I did on the beach here because they came and visited here in Parksville. So they have some exciting stuff they're going to be talking about. So get ready. I'll post that into the community. But hey, everybody, thank you so much for joining this mastermind. We love you. We appreciate you. Take one thing from today and apply it. Tomorrow, don't forget, Gabrielle is coming. and he's going to deliver an incredible webinar with so much value. It's that free 99 stuff. No one's saying you got to purchase any of this course. You can join his role play sessions. You can get a free consultation from him. He's just got so much free value to offer. But I do recommend, if you want an assessment of your business, a snapshot of what it is right now and what it can be, join us. Join us tomorrow, 1
Yeah.
p.m.
I have to give prompts to Gabriel. So I hired him as my personal coach a little while ago, and just after a very few conversations that I had with him, there was things that I didn't even see I was doing in my own business that, we tweaked a little bit, conversations that we were having with clients, just small tweaks that, have had massive impact on my business. So definitely well worth talking to him, at least. And I've had coaches in the past that just put you on a regimen and they say, oh, well, you got to do this, you got to do this, you got to do this. Gabriel really takes a whole different perspective on your business and really tries to figure out what you need to do.
Thanks, Jim. Appreciate that. Tracy, I see your hand is up. I want to make sure you got that question answered.
Oh yeah, thank you so much. I'm very, very new. I just signed up like 2 days, and I might ask a repeated question. I'm sorry, but then I want to find out because I got the leads. I just started the leads like yesterday. I mean, not the leads, the ad, and then I got about 1 to 2 leads for the CMA request. So I don't have any automation. Is there like a class for the automation? And also, right now I just got another lead. So we just manually call them and then do a bomb CMA to them. I did that yesterday for the other 2. So far there's no response on anything yet, but there's how we should do before we have the automation set up yet.
Awesome. Tracy, I will have Brandon send you a few resources. He's your guide on that. And there's an awesome Thinkific course. There's an automations workshop. There's so many good stuff. We'll make max use of your time because you have a lot of good questions. So we'll get that sorted out and sent to you directly. And then join that Krista Mayshore StreetText group because I saw that you're a part of that, and I'll drive that.
Oh yeah.
As well.
Okay.
Can Brandon send it to me as well, if you don't mind, Marcus, please, if you don't mind?
Brandon? Yeah, Brandon put Brandon on the spot here. Awesome. Thanks, everybody. Have a great week, and we will see you soon.